What's going on, everybody? Bobby Fire, Eric Sheet Tabor. We're going to be talking through this NBA slate. Same amount of games on both sides tonight. But first, we'll start off with Sheets again with a big win and fourth place in the 777 with the one entry. And you know what? We're hot right now, so I would encourage everybody, if you're thinking about coming along, this is a good time to join us. Things are going really, really well, and obviously Sheets' projections are dominating in the NBA. And Sheets, talk a little bit about last night, and we'll jump into today.
The swish, indeed. It wasn't a very high scoring slate. I don't believe. So those again, I've been able to do some business with the high scoring slates nowadays also. Yeah. But usually the big rap, at least, was that I would be doing much better in the low scoring slates. Where do we see that lineup? Where am I going to find that? Oh, here it is. So we may as well.
Yeah, let's talk through it.
Like I said, share. Just have to find it. Okay, I have to find my screen. Okay, there it is. Share screen. This. Yeah. So, and once again, built live, right on thing, and some pretty bizarre. This is actually a pretty bizarre looking lineup compared to the other big ones. I had like a 6% owned PJ Washington. Who did very, very nicely. We had Mark Williams, who, as we discussed, I mean, this one didn't get past anybody, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, it was everybody else is on it. Everybody on the other sites, of course, all I heard all day was, we've been saying Mark Williams is like a 9K player. I'm like, okay, have you really been saying it? Because I actually have been saying it. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Sure. And then the Jalen Duren did nicely. And Mark Williams, it was very, very nice of them to actually, they kept him in after the game was over. I mean, yeah. They kept him in for a little little blowout run at the end, and Nick Smith was just exactly perfect. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't kill anybody. He didn't, whatever. And then I don't know how I got this, but it's like weird what ends up getting there. I had a 10% on Naz Reid. I think I always get Naz Reid for some reason, like regardless of whatever. And he was just fine. And Wiggins again was just fine. And then what ended up happening? I was all worried about the Shea. I figured I would just leave it alone.
Yep.
And he put 100 ball up or whatever.
And obviously, as you know, that means that it was a terrible night for me because I was trying to take the fade approach. But that game was tight. They were down early, and I was like, oh god, Shea's gonna.
And he scored like a solid 15 fantasy points in the last 3 minutes or something like that. Yeah. He really put a stamp on that slate with his number. And then at the end, that was for funsies. I had a relatively low owned. I guess Darius Garland, who was having a nice enough game. 42. Yeah. We'll take that. And then it was funny. They were down 2 with 4 seconds to go. They inbounded the ball and they went for 3. And this idiot Rocket closed out, fouled him. They called it an intentional, and it was a perfectly good call. So they ended up giving him 3 and the ball. Okay, so 3 and the ball. What that meant was that I didn't know what I was rooting for, because at this point I was, if you look at the scores here, I had 319.75, right? Excuse me, actually I think I'm a little less. I was actually behind both these guys, and I knew that if I made 3 of them, all 3 I would have gotten into third. Okay, so that's what I was expecting: make a 3, win the turn, win the game, it's over. But then I thought, ooh, maybe I should be rooting for only 2 of 3, because then I go to overtime, right? So it turns out he missed the first and missed the second. So this is what happened. So he made the third. Now I know how I got there. So then what happened was they got the ball with 1 second, whatever it was. They inbounded it to Mitchell, who shot the wild shot, and actually Gary Scarlett at 0.2 seconds got an offensive rebound but couldn't get the ball back up. So I gave an extra point or whatever the hell that was to get me to here, I guess. I don't even know if it mattered. But if it made it to overtime, I don't exactly know if that's what I would want.
Yeah, I think you probably would have had some people catching you at some point.
So I didn't. So the thing is, if you look back, nobody here had Garland.
Right.
I wouldn't be worried about any of these guys, but I'd have to kind of look to see if any of these guys have. No, you know what? Nobody had anybody.
There could have been some Jared Allens in there.
Like Dean Wade wasn't going to do anything, I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. For somebody. Dude, this is actually kind of interesting. We miss all this stuff, but Dean Wade, he started a basketball game and he was 3,800 and he was 0.2% owned in something.
Yeah, it's not missing. He started. It's been the same thing all season. He started every game.
Oh, okay. I thought.
But with Mobley and with Mobley and what's his name out and LeVert, it made sense to play him yesterday somewhat. There was a couple other ones that I had at like 0.2% also that were shocking, and they actually did well. That just you can't win without Shea. But the PJ Washington seemed to be your key also. The PJ Washington at low ownership really seemed to come through big.
30 real life ones for the PJ Washington. Very nice.
He had. I mean, they needed somebody to, and Kyrie ended up having a crazy game at the very end.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, well, he had like 10 fantasy points. I looked back and he had 56. I don't know how it happened in no time. Anyway, I want to also shout out Eric Garcia. Eric has been around us for a while, but he finished second in the 20 max in hockey last night. So good for him.
Let's go. We're getting a bunch of these hockey scores, huh?
Yeah, and look, everybody knows Sheets and I are this is not our thing. We don't love advertising these things, but I would really encourage people to check out the site, at least try the trial, see how it works out for you. We got the big NFL weekend coming up.
And we're allowed for like a little while.
Yeah, I feel like we have some room.
Yeah, I'm down with a little bit of advertising right now.
Yeah, and just wait till Rhodey wins $1 million this week, and then we really got.
Oh, dude, I'm not going to move out of the country if Rhodey wins $1 million. If Rhodey wins $1 million, I'm literally not going to be around for that. First, he's probably going to be pissed that he didn't put in other stuff. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Oh no, but shout out to him. He did. I felt a little bit bad, to be honest, because he said, "I want to buy some of your pack last week, the Millionaire pack," while we were doing the show.
He always has. He always whines.
I know, but I kind of I was hoping he got in at least in some of that way. It broke the Saber Sim record for the ROI returns.
Oh, Snake Kings, you mean?
Yeah, it's the Snake Kings record. Sorry.
Excellent. Did you get a personal DM from anybody who had it?
Yeah. I got one very, very nice gentleman who said that I helped his whole life change. He had $180 and he made $180. He made $156,000.
Let's go.
So that's huge. And then somebody else, I don't know, they must have just bought because I only had 30 entries in the showdown slate, and I finished second at 77. So he said he put in $8 and got back like 18,000.
Yeah,
which is just a crazy number. So anyway. But looking into today, look, there's obviously it's the NBA. There's a lot of back-to-backs. You're going to see a lot of people sitting. We already know Steph is sitting. But the value early in the day is probably not going to be where we end up on value later tonight, outside of the Warriors, who will still probably show up.
Let me see what that looks like here. So right now, looking at DraftKings, yeah, you're not joking. I mean, I have, except for who you said?
Except for the Warriors guys, I think you're going to end up getting to them either way. Buddy Hield.
Yeah. So yeah, but even that, I have literally nobody projecting over 6x.
Yeah.
On the whole board here.
Yeah, I'm the same. And I looked at a few different things, and I really can't. But again, it's just we know it's going to be different. There is back-to-backs in play. We have the late games tonight. Both teams the Clippers on a back-to-back. The Boston Celtics on a back-to-back in LA, which my friends are trying to urge me to go to. Which if I do, I realize I just can't play DFS because I can't adjust my lineups. There's no way to do it. And we need to find a mobile version of how to do this on my phone.
Dude, let me tell you something. I've tried.
Yeah.
And Saber Sim, it to me is, I mean, I've told them this. I consider it unusable as far as mobile goes. They said, why? What's the problem? I don't know what the problem is with my phone or what I can't. I can't really get it to work the way I need it to. So maybe you could have some better luck. Maybe you don't have an Android or something. I have no idea. We'll see.
Yeah.
But okay.
I haven't yet. So here we go.
Let's go through game by game here.
Yeah.
And I already listen for those of you guys that didn't see. I literally just ran a whole set of lineups, builds, sims. So I'm all ready, and I don't even know who I have yet. So let's just kind of take a look. So Portland against Orlando. Well, let's wonder who's going to play for Orlando again, right? You had Cole Anthony out last time. You had something else. Remember who we ended up playing? We ended up playing Anthony Black, right? He was the big chalk there, but I guess he got back, so I'm not really seeing him as kind of showing up. So I'm not really getting much of anything from Orlando, and I'm really not getting much of anything from Portland with respect to projections and stuff. Let me see.
A lot of Q tags here.
Who do we got?
We got Ayton, Simons, and Kamara for Portland, and Chris Murray, which just means It's only if he's in addition to anything. And then for Orlando, at least it's the first game. We have Cole Anthony, obviously, and Franz is questionable to possibly come back and play tonight. Gary Harris and Jet Howard, all those guys are potential to come back. Now, it really just affects the other players. We're not playing any of those guys, except for Cole Anthony, possibly. But as of right now, I'm going to go on my other limb is even with Franz coming back, I don't think they're going to just let him play a bunch of minutes. They didn't do it with Banchero. Maximum I could see Franz playing would probably be around 28. I think Paolo, he's got the minutes back. I think we just look, I'm not going to say lock him in or something like that, but I think this is a severe underpricing for when he's got his minutes back. They put up, he put up 46 in the last game. Most places have him around 40 to 42. I just upped his projection a little bit because I think I think there's just so much upside for him here. So I actually have Banchero as a borderline priority play, depending on who else plays for them or not. But either way, I'm probably going to be over the field on him and somewhere in the 20-some-odd% range because I think he's a terrific spend up. And remember, people forget before he got hurt, he was putting up 60s and 70s and 80 games. You know what I mean? He can really put it up, fire it up. So I'm very high on him tonight.
I'm a little greedy here. I kind of would prefer to know that Wagner is out before going too crazy with Banchero. I don't think that if I see, that's the thing. I think that if Wagner is out, I don't even think that Banchero is going to even be that much higher owned. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think people are going to play him anyway.
Yeah.
So I prefer to be greedy and demand Wagner to be out. But we'll, but I don't mind it. I mean, as far as for, projections go, again, with very little overall value, I mean, you can take shots like this. So, I'm good with this one actually.
Yeah, I think I'm settling in pretty good on that one myself. All right, Miami and Milwaukee. What do you got going on in there?
I have Cattell Ware again.
Yeah,
I don't know whether he's 5,700, but now he's competing, with other decent centers here. Right in his price range. I mean, he's competing with the Kongu, he's competing with Podol, these guys, they're all around that 5K to 6K range or whatever. But right now I have him projected as the best. Looks good to me. What about Jaquez at 5K? He looks kind of decent. Not really seeing too much value on the Milwaukee side. So I guess I'm just going to look straight to the spend up, and that's the problem. I mean, you have Giannis who just projects 7 points lower than Jokic. It's he is power forward eligible, so that helps as far as that goes. I guess that's all I have to say about this.
Yeah, I made a couple adjustments on some stuff. So Jimmy Butler was suspended for missing the team flight again.
Good grief!
I mean, just get out. What's going on here? Like, he wants to be gone. Hopefully, he can. I think somehow he ends up in Memphis if he ends up anywhere.
Memphis.
And actually, because I think that's the only team I could actually say that he can turn. I think, first of all, I think they have a chance at a title anyway. Like, I think it's an outside chance. But I think with him there, they actually have a legitimate chance at a title. That's just my take. I think that they have. They're loaded too, and they've got plenty of things they could trade. But I like. Yeah, that's the one I like. So I have Ware and Jaquez showing up right now. I actually bumped up Tyler Hero's project. He's probable. I bumped up Tyler Hero's projection. I bumped up Bam's projection a little bit because I think it's getting a little too little love. And it's not to the point where I want to play him, but I also bumped up Rozier. I just feel like it's a little bit low this morning on those guys with no Butler and this is a fast-paced game. I mean, Milwaukee, they don't play as fast as they used to, but they still play fast enough. And Giannis is going to be very low owned. Now, this used to be the nightmare matchup for him. Every time he struggled was only against Milwaukee. I don't think this is the same Miami team or the same Miami defense. They also play faster than they used to. But still, even with that said, at the moment, currently not getting anything. Would like to get a little bit, but I don't want to go crazy with it. So I'm not getting anything on the Milwaukee side. Probably will look into a run back a little bit later on.
All right. So you know what? This is now the second time that you've kind of intimated to me that my stupid take has a shot. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna take a shot at Memphis here to win the championship. All right, so that's the end.
It's a long shot that I said.
Yeah, it's going to be 25-1. It's probably an atrocious bet.
But it's a stupid number that they're putting up there, but it's still.
We're just going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in. It's just $180. It's now just like consider. We had like that other conversation we had about our other film. I'm just going to presume that I'll never need that 180 ever again.
Right.
That's gone. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Let's go back to the other games.
All right. So
what's next?
I can
Dallas,
start off with
OKC.
Sure. Sure. No. We have Toronto, Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay, so Scotty Barnes at 8,700. I guess he looks reasonable, but you have these other values. So Grady Dick at 4,200. He's about 5.5x so far. Podol, who I just mentioned earlier, is one of the centers. And again, if Ware gets too popular, pivots like Podol and Okongwu are going to look pretty reasonable. But both Podol and Okongwu look like they're taking money also. It's part of the same game, so I'm glad we're talking about this. So Okongwu, as I just mentioned, he looks good. Grady Dick, Podol, I guess Barnes. I wonder what's his name looks like, what Trey looks like today. Low owned, that's for sure. I don't know. Who's your favorite bigs from this game? How about that?
I like Podol. Changing a few things with projections. I'm going to up Scotty Barnes. I feel like this projection on him is just way off. It's not that it's way off for a normal game for Scotty Barnes, but you play Atlanta. It's not a normal game. You have all of the benefit of every ceiling possible. Scotty Barnes puts up 45 every game plus anyway. Now you add the great matchup with no Emmanuel Quickly, who's been out, but still he put up 15 in the last game against Orlando, who's much harder to do that against. As long as this game stays close, and I'm kind of shocked by the spread. Jalen Johnson, who is probably going to be out, by the way. I'm just guessing. There's nothing about it, but they're not going to play him a back-to-back, I don't think, at this point. Maybe they will. I'd be shocked, though. So I really like the idea of getting over the field on Scotty Barnes. Dick, my guess is that by the end of the day, we have other value that sort of outshines him. But at the moment, he looks fine. And it probably will be fine to take a shot on later in the day as well. And then I have a little bit more interest in Barrett than the field does. So I actually really like the Toronto side. I always try to stack up against Atlanta as much as I can. And those are the ones who showed up the most for me.
So unfortunately, this is kind of turning into a bit now. But Bogdanovich again with single-digit fantasy points in his last game. And I'm just kind of looking through this. He's now 4 of his last 11, 29 from 3. I don't know what happened to this dude.
So we know. I know by the spread in this game that at least one of Jalen Johnson or Trae Young is sitting. There's no way they're only 5-point home.
Oh, people are gonna play him again. Oh no.
So I think he might sit too.
He better.
Right, exactly. I like Okongwu. They moved Okongwu into the starting lineup last night. I think that he's a solid play. If Trey's good, I like Trey actually. Assuming that Jalen Johnson is out. If somehow Jalen Johnson plays, I can't imagine he will. But I'm going to guess at least these questionables, which are Jalen Johnson, Trey, Bogdanovich, and Hunter. I'm going to guess at least one in Johnson sits, and probably one more in Hunter, which I was very annoyed by. Anyway, I tried not to edit my big lineup on FanDuel, and somehow it still edited it for me, and it forced in DeAndre Hunter, and I have no idea why. Really just it took what would have cashed anyway. I'm not going to complain about it, but just was strange to me. So I guess I might be a little bit over this game than the field, but I'd like to see what's happening with Atlanta before I firm up any opinions. And Capella's price is going to drop enough to where you might consider playing him, but on a back-to-back, I just think we go back to Okongwu in the starting role. Let's roll with the Okongwu. That's where I'm at. All right. Anthony, there. All right, so now we get over to Dallas and OKC.
Two teams playing on back-to-backs, I believe. Dallas played a really tight one, and OKC was kind of a struggle for a while. They ended up, trolling, I guess, and then ended up like pulling away at the end or whatever. I mean, is this the best team in basketball? I mean, it's kind of hard to dispute.
It's them in Cleveland right now, but we'll see.
You have Celtics going in and like just on the skin of their teeth, like getting past the Clippers with no players.
With no players, literally. But I think they were psyched that they were all resting, and they rested a bunch of their guys too, and they were ready for the game tonight against the Lakers.
Yeah. So I guess I guess play Shea again. I don't know. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I don't even know what to do here.
I don't see anybody actually showing up as a good play though, as far as projections go. So I don't know. Oh, actually, that's not true. Gafford. Okay, so Gafford's another one of those center pivots. So Gafford looks decent again. And he was kind of my hero yesterday. And I'm not too worried about the back-to-back with Shea for some reason. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll just.
Especially when this team knocked you out of the playoffs last year in a brutal fashion, and it was to go to the conference championship. So
is that true?
Yeah.
Wow.
And that I think OKC was looking ahead last night too. That's what I think was happening.
That's true too. So yeah, I think they're gonna kind of if they have it, I think they're gonna put the hammer on them. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm totally solid with going back to Gafford. I think I like Okongwu a little bit better at a cheaper price, but it's fine. I do think that this projection on Kyrie is just ridiculous. 36 or 37 as a median just cannot be correct.
That is a little weird.
He's not even questionable, but like maybe he's sitting. Also, this is a big spread, but it would be anyway, probably. And Clay and Najee Marshall, we don't know about them. So look, I have no idea. I have no problem. Everybody knows I love PJ Washington against this specific team. The problem is they could get housed, but I'm gonna bump PJ Washington's projection up. That's another one that I'm going for. And on the OKC side, look, you've still got the cheap Blue Dort. No issue with that. And I think Shea is fine to go right back to, but I don't have any of it as a priority on the OKC side at the moment. Maybe I'll change my mind later today, but it is a revenge game for them. And again, in the PJ Washington played really well against OKC in that series and has played well against them this year. And that people, I had that call earlier. Somebody won a tournament with it. I like the idea of a low on PJ Washington. I guess that's my favorite part of the game.
Sacramento off a back-to-back going into Denver is kind of rough business. That seems like kind of a light spread to me. Just on that situation alone. In any case, Jokic, very funny median projection again as usual. 64. Okay. What about the second half?
Right.
He gets like 80 every game and doesn't even play the fourth quarter. I mean,
right.
So he's definitely going to project to have the most fantasy points. Whether you can get him in for 12 too. Like right now, you probably can't, or you'd have to make some serious concessions to do that. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's what makes it fun. Like for example, let me see. Like right now, based on projections now, am I even getting any of him? Yeah, I don't think I'm getting any Jokic. No, I'm getting 13%.
I think it'll change once we get value.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like right now, there's no value, so that's why you're getting this stuff. Aside from that, Sabonis could probably have a good game, and again, I'd probably make him over 49 points in this spot. But back in Denver, I don't know, man. That's tough. I really want to stay away from the Sacramento pieces in this game.
Yeah, I for some reason, SaberSim in the early projections loves DeMar DeRozan. I will probably lower that a little. I mean, it's not even like he projects all that well. They gave him like 40% when I just ran their builds. I don't co-sign on that right now. I will say that I think that Sabonis and to some extent Monk and Fox are all a little bit interesting to me. I do want to mention. I just want to give a shout out to my guy. Look. Everybody hates this with Westbrook, and look what happens when he goes to organizations that can actually do something. And yes, it helps to have Jokic, but he and Jokic are just absolutely like loving each other. With Westbrook in the starting lineup, they've been the third best team in the NBA. They really turned their whole season around. And Westbrook he's always been this guy. The Lakers tried to misuse him, and then obviously a totally dysfunctional franchise. The Clippers, he played very well for them. They just lost all their players. So I'm really happy to see him doing well in Denver, and he is my favorite play in this game by a pretty hefty amount. I think the 6,200 is a little too cheap. I think the pace up matchup is really good for him, and I like him the best. But I also have interest in Murray and Jokic, and probably will be over the field on those guys. Where it's weird though, because I would like to pick out something from Sacramento that feels great to me. I think Sabonis is probably the answer, but I don't really love any of it on the back-to-back traveling to Denver. We know that's like the nightmare for all these teams. It's just an absolute nightmare.
Yep.
All right, and we got a question real quick about this. How long is the 3-day offer available? Can this offer be located on the y'all's website? Yeah, it's right on the website. If it just says member, it's, sign up options. I'll post a little link to it in just a minute, but we'll get to the next game. Sheets, do you mind starting off the Chicago Golden State?
It's going to be quick, but yeah, I don't really have too much from this game. Like I have Vooch
Really
being whatever for Chicago. No, from Chicago side. On the Golden State side, again, though, with Curry out, here's where like whatever value exists, right? So I have Buddy Hield at 4,500. I have him only project for like 25 fantasy points. Not like that great. And I have Wiggins 6,100. He looks pretty good. I guess Schroeder 4,800. Gary Payton. You gotta watch. You gotta watch this. I don't know if you saw this. It's an amazing clip of Gary Payton II. Did you see this with Jordan Poole?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh my God, you gotta find it. It's so funny. Like they're someone else is taking a free throw, and these two are just kind of like just waiting, on the lane in rebound position. And Gary Payton, like when Jordan Poole is not looking, Gary Payton's like unties Jordan Poole's shoes, like right in front of him, right? and Poole looks down. And then he like complains to the referee, right? And the referee was talking to Gary Payton, like, oh, just because he said so doesn't mean maybe he's lying or something. And this total video of him like doing it, it was like really like the funniest thing. I gotta forward this to you.
That's really funny.
Really amazing. Nonetheless, all these guys are probably gonna look good with Curry out, but I was expecting to see just a little bit better with respect to the projections. Like, what do you like here?
Yeah, so I actually like both sides of this. I think that Vucevic could smash. I like Lonzo. I think they're like relaxing a little bit on his minutes. We'll see about this Levine trade happening any day now. It's probably everybody's trying to get him. He's having a great year, like actual real basketball analytics wise, not just like in terms of raw fantasy numbers. But Vucevic and Lonzo are my two favorites, followed by probably Giddey. Giddy's right in there. And then on the Golden State side, I'm getting to a bunch of Hield. I got to a bunch of Wiggins, but I don't love it. Scares me a little bit. But, I mean, they are missing like so many bodies, no Kyle Anderson, no Draymond Green, no Steph. Wait, hold on. Steph, I've got doubtful, but they're giving him a projection. Maybe that's why you're not seeing more of it. But if anybody he's doubtful on a back-to-back, I think he's not playing. So I think we gotta just eliminate probably. Once Steph gets eliminated, these guys are going to look really, really good, and it's going to be Hield, Wiggins, Schroeder who look the best. My favorites being Hield. Schroeder has not done well in these spots lately with them. I still like him though tonight for what it's worth. And then this Gui Santos at 3,500 as a value. That's one I could talk myself into if people aren't going to go there. And also it's a later game, so I can always late swap.
So we're gonna have to watch this. I hope the sound comes through. Let's see.
Oh my God! Here's when we get banned. Oh my God, that's really funny.
Start already on YouTube. You're looking
at Who was the one who did it? Oh, there's somebody who did it all the time. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. It was somebody in chat. If you guys remember who's the one who always was untying the shoes, let me know what it was.
Like, just the guy said so. Why would I do that?
That's hilarious.
Just because I don't know, something about it to do with Jordan Poole, it like makes it even funnier. You know what
I
mean? Like because he'd be like all freaking pissed about it. You know what I mean? Like whatever. All right.
So now we move to the game that literally I've gotten 5 texts this morning from friends trying to talk me into going to it. So I've got to make some life decisions here today, and I can't figure it out. It is the Lakers and Celtics, but as everybody knows, who knows me very well, I still root for the Lakers, but I pay more attention to Denver than I do the Lakers. I do not love this team. I do not love that we're being held prisoner by a much better version. It feels very similar to Green Bay. To the Jets with Aaron Rodgers, except for this team is at least capable. But I don't like being held hostage by them. I don't trust the front office, which is LeBron now, and they frustrate me. So with that said, I expect a big game out of LeBron tonight. What do you think of this game, Sheets?
Dude, you have to go to the game.
I have to go to the game? I've been to Lakers Celtics games plenty of times.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I might have to, but the problem is, how do I edit? I wanted to play it. I was excited about this slate.
You only have them once a year, but I mean,
I know that's true.
but you could play the slate and go to this game. Wait, this is a 10 o'clock game.
How do I edit?
When do you have to leave? Like an hour before to get there?
Yeah, but I can actually go over because Kenny lives next to the stadium, so I can go over and figure something out with that. But then it sort of skews up the show. It's really hard.
Listen, if you listen, we're in different states. If you can like go to any old Laker Celtic games whenever you feel like it, okay, that's fine or whatever. But I will say this: like, fast forward a year from now, like if we have Yankees Dodgers again this year, we're not.
We're making it happen. That's for sure.
Laker Celtics. Yeah, I expect. Well, I'll tell you who else I expect to have a good game. I expect the Celtics to have a good game here as well.
Me too.
Like you said, I mean, they waltzed into the Clippers expecting to just get rolled over on, and they got pushed right to the end. So I'm expecting a big game out of the Celtics too. I think it's more of a good real life game than a fantasy game. Honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna. And the thing about these big games is it brings out the defense also. So I don't think I'm going to get too much of it. But if I do, I'm certainly going to play the AD and LeBron together. My new thing, right?
Yeah.
And AD I have at 1.8% projected ownership and LeBron 2.07. Sounds good to me. I'll take a shot.
Yeah, it's yeah. I think this is a tough one. So I maybe I do need to go, but I'll say that I do like Drew. I like Drew Holiday a little bit here. I know that he's having a down year. He's 4,700. Assuming that he plays, I like him, and I'm assuming that he will in fact play. I also think that you could bump guys like Tatum in these situations and bump LeBron without thinking about it, because it does matter to everybody there in LA. You just got it. You get a little boost from that. So I'm putting LeBron as my median projection at 50. I actually think it maybe should be higher. And I'm putting Anthony Davis with my median projection at 52, and I'm putting Jason Tatum with my median projection at 50 as well. So I'm going to see what it does for my lineups once I rebuild. But I do think you bump up in these type of games. The other one I kind of like, who's not going to get any ownership, is Kristaps, just because the way the center position is. But it is the kind of matchup where, I mean, centers, first of all, have been – Vucevic put up 700 points against Anthony Davis the other night. Like, I don't know. I'm in on like taking some shots. So Vucevic is another one that I certainly wouldn't mind getting to, although I'm not trying to go like way out of my way to do it. I just think it's totally legitimate to take a shot there.
So I don't know how I feel about this, but if Harden sits out for the Celtics and then plays against the Wizards, I mean, I guess that's kind of the thing to do this year, right?
But everybody did it.
Yeah.
And he's going to play.
I guess
it kind of pisses me off. Like, I mean, look, it's the brand new stadium. I bet you anything. And look, it's smart in a sense because you want to make sure you have the guaranteed win.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're telling me those guys last night couldn't beat the Wizards? They probably could have. They almost beat the Celtics.
Yeah. So couple of things about this. First of all, I mean, I happened to watch that game. I don't know if he's actually a good basketball player or whatever it is, but and we've watched him in this role for his whole career. But when that Kevin Porter Jr. gets it going, I mean, he can score.
He's an absolute fantasy gold mine, and when he gets the ball, when he's at the ball.
He doesn't care where he is. He takes atrocious looking shots. Like he was taking these like 7 terrible twos just inside the 3 that went in. You know, he has just no shame when he gets, and it's fine when you get your minutes, when you get your opportunities in the NBA, you better. Yeah. And I was expecting a little more from Bones Highland as far as minutes goes, but 17. That's the most he's played all year, I guess. Well, actually, there were a couple earlier in the season, but I presume that Harden's going to play, which to me makes the Clippers. I mean, it's Zubac. I like him, but I mean, if I'm gonna, as the kids say, keep it real, I might take another shot at that. Some of these Washington dudes I was anti-sweating the other day, like the Sar. I don't know what his price is really. I just saw that he was really active and awesome, you know. Mm-hmm. So I guess I like him a little bit if I had to play somebody. And then I guess Keyshawn George 3,800 looks reasonable enough. Mm-hmm. And then go back to Carrington. Maybe I owe Koulibaly some money after he got literally 0 in the fourth quarter when I needed him to get literally 0.
Yeah.
So yeah, who do you like in this game?
So I think Joe Val's a sneaky play. I think that the Clippers. I mean, Zubac is. I don't think people realize how huge Zubac is as just like a physical specimen. So I don't know how Sarr is going to be able to try to guard him.
Right.
And by the way, Zubac also sat last night, so he should be good to go. Jordan Poole was the one I'm sort of downing them. I'm lowering my projections. This game, I mean, the Clippers are massive favorites, but I honestly feel like that this is gonna it's weird to see. I don't know. It's weird to play Washington in a really down pace matchup for them. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, why am I getting to so much of it? Keyshawn George, I'm good with. Jordan Poole getting 56%. I'm not going to do that. Not to say he couldn't have a game, but there's no reason to do this. Like, this is a bad matchup. The Clippers have defenders and they have other guys. Like they just don't play fast. They don't play in high paced games. I mean, they will more tonight, but I don't know. I'm a little lower on the Washington side than what the projections are and what the field's giving me. So I'm going to lower them. I think my favorite play is probably George or Valanciunas, and Kuzma's fine. Like those are fine middle plays, and also you can always adjust. This is the last game. I think Harden is probably going to show up on FanDuel as being a great play because of his price, and I think he is a tremendous. He's probably a guy you want on both sides. I think Harden is in a great spot here. And he's already probable. And I'm assuming Zubac plays. If Zubac plays, I want to play some Zubac. I think he belongs where he is, 7,200. Fine with Norman Powell, but not going crazy. So a lot of fine withs, except for Harden as a priority, especially on FanDuel. That's where.
So Baby Grand is saying is that really Beetlejuice or Battlejuice?
That's his company.
Oh, that's Battlejuice?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's got
not Beetlejuice. Not Beetlejuice.
Not Beetlejuice.
Okay. I was Googling Battlejuice and all I got was Beetlejuice. We got to work.
They're still early on, but there's a lot of momentum there.
Okay. What is it? What is Battlejuice?
It's like a juice, but it's like a kid's juice, but it's like health. It's like no sugars kind of a thing, and but there's a bunch of people he's involved with that apparently it's they got some real hope, I think.
Well, we'll support Battlejuice. Yeah. Send me a case. I'll distribute it to the local the local Linköping youth, and we'll we'll see if we can get them all juiced up. All right. I guess we're good to go. Bobby's going to do a football preview for this weekend.
Yeah, I might do it. May do it tomorrow if I don't have the projections up yet.
Okay.
So, but I'll try to do it today.
If it's tomorrow, I can probably do it with you.
Okay, maybe that might be helpful.
And worst case, I will see you at 6 for the live before lock.